Hey MJ traders and investors, it's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back in the pursuit of wealth for an MJ Sector review. Today's a review for Thursday, May 6th. Hope everyone is well today. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing Tilray and why was the stock down over 12% today? What is going on? Where is the bottom? And is now a good time to be buying Tilray? I'll talk about my plan. I actually took a position on Tilray today, so we'll look at the chart. I'll put some timestamps in the description below, but we'll go over some news and events on the day, and then we'll look at the Canadian and the US sectors and Tilray. I'll do an in-depth analysis on Tilray and my plan going forward. But if you look back to February, we're down about 80% on the Tilray chart from that February high and the 52-week high. But obviously, I don't think anybody saw that coming and ended up being a huge sell the news type of event there with the merger with Aphria. So we'll look at my plan there in just a second. But before we jump in again, we'd have to just keep an eye out for earnings coming up on May 18th, which, obviously could provide a lot of volatility. My plan is to load up now and lead up to a potential run into earnings. I don't plan on holding it through earnings, so I'm looking for a potential bounce, but we'll look at the hourly chart and the daily chart. There's a lack of resistance even just to form a lower high. So we'll look at some news here before we jump into the charts. Kansas House approves medical MJ legalization bill, while Alabama lawmakers also passed landmark medical MJ legalization bill as well. So Body and Mind completes Ohio construction and provides an update on their operations in Arkansas. So moving on to the Tilray chart, we're looking at this falling wedge here that has been playing out for quite some time now, and we are finding support, and we're seeing these new lower lows without much follow through. Again, we do have earnings coming up, and they are expecting 60.55 million, which would be about a 5 million increase from last quarter, and they're expecting negative 0.1 on EPS. And it did come in on a beat the last quarter, so we'll see if it can continue that positive direction and momentum in the beating those estimates. So taking a look at the daily chart, so we closed the day down over 11%, and we were down 12% at one point. So we do have that support here from this falling wedge. We are approaching daily oversold, but we have yet to fully print a candle as daily oversold. So we could see a bit more downside from here. But again, we have a lack of resistance here on the daily. We could bounce about 40% and still just be in a daily downtrend looking for a daily lower high. And even on the hourly chart, we were getting pretty extended there. Look at that hourly RSI, just absolutely crushed below 20 in the teens. But just until recent resistance here, you're looking at a 20% bounce on the hourly to form an hourly lower high and a 40% bounce on the daily. So I took a position, bought a few hundred shares. If we do saved a little bit of powder just in case we do see further downside and we do see us print daily oversold. So if we do see a drop below 30 on the RSI, I will add again as we will be getting extreme. And like I said, I'll be looking to play that bounce and potentially sell leading up to earnings. I don't plan on holding through earnings at this point. We're looking for a temporary bottom here. There's no signs of it yet. But again, this pullback has been fairly significant. And the weekly chart, we've been given heads up for the last few weeks that Tilray has been extremely bearish. Saw that they have a settlement with Wyckoff, and I think they're going to be paying essentially $40 million in that settlement. So that obviously hurt the stock today as well. And just taking a look at the weekly moving averages. So on the 50 weekly, we have support at 1230, but before the 1230 support, we have the 200-day moving average. So my play on Tilray today was a play off the 1335 200-day moving average. So we came within about 50 cents. The low of the day today, we had 1383. So we came within about 50 cents of that 200-day moving average. And again, we could bounce 40% just looking for a daily lower high. So I like the risk to reward here on Tilray. And like I said, from these recent highs from back in February at $67, we are down 79, 80% in just a couple of months. So that is a huge sell-off and just massive 180. And I don't think anybody saw that coming. And this is how it's a perfect example of how the market can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. And I guarantee you, when people saw the stock go from 67 to 47, they probably thought it was a steal. And then at $25, oh my God, I got to back up the truck. $20, right? And then here we are getting close to $10. And if we lose 13, the 200-day moving average, we'll be looking at 1230 as a potential bounce point. And if we lose 1230, we're looking at these previous highs here at around 11 and $10 psychological. It's not looking good. Tilray chart is extremely bearish, but we'll be watching this falling wedge as well to see which way this breaks, but we are right on support. Again, my entry was based off of that and the 200-day moving average down at 1335, coming very close to that, and I am expecting a fairly sizable bounce here once we do get the bounce underway. Again, just watching for potential daily oversold conditions. So taking a look at the rest of the sector, SNDL and Huge were down bigly today as well. We had TGOD leading the bull list and CanTrust and Oxley. So just taking a look at some of our other names here. CGC, new lower low today, extremely weak. ACB is standing out as one of the stronger names recently. So you can see we're still holding the lows here from the lows of April on the 21st. CGC already losing the low of the 21st. And ACB just looking for a daily higher low, attempting a daily trend change attempt, just like Hexo. And Hexo at this point closed below this uptrend line. So a little bit of a red flag here and closed near the low of the day. We did confirm the daily uptrend and the daily bull flag, and we got a high as 742 today. But we'll potentially look for some weakness into tomorrow. And if we do see daily consolidation tomorrow, if we lose the low of today at 687 tomorrow, then it's all about 1617 support. If we lose that, then we lose the daily uptrend, and then we have a lack of support down to 502. So I'm not expecting a huge amount of downside, but again, if we see weakness in the overall broader market, it's possible. But SPY, you can check out my broader market video from earlier, but the S&P 500 closed extremely strong today. And again, no major red flags, still bouncing on the weekly here, and bulls want to get as big of a bounce as possible on the weekly to form a weekly higher low and attempt a weekly trend change to set monthly higher lows. So taking a look at the US side, we had Ian, BAM, and BEV leading the decline. TAUG, TAT, and Ian. Not sure what happened there with the sort feature. So they were leading the decline today. On the bull list, we had Harv, IIPR, and Cresco. So IIPR had earnings, bullish reaction. So BAM closed at the low of the day, still searching for its higher low compared to the double bottom there at 48. And we did hit daily oversold conditions. And let's see whether or not we can change the hourly trend to set daily higher lows. And let's see if we can change the daily trend. If we can break 65 after holding a higher low compared to 48, then that would confirm a daily uptrend. So taking a look at MSOS, we're still searching for a daily higher low. We came very close to support today. 41.29 was our support. We had a low of 41.32. So still a potential daily bull flag, just looking for a higher low compared to 37.56. And then we'll be looking up to resistance at 44.14. If we can break 44.14 from here, we confirm a daily uptrend, the first time since this massive sell-off from all-time highs off of the US legalization hype. And then that would confirm our weekly bottom is in, and we can be looking up to recent highs and all-time highs. So going to end it there. Best of luck into tomorrow, and let me know in the comments below if you took a position in Tilray today. I took a position, like I said, a few hundred shares. We'll add if we test the 200-day moving average, if we come down to around the $12 and $13 area, and I'll set a stop likely under $10 on that entire position and allow just dollar cost average in on this, as we know that we pulled back 80% now from the recent highs at $67. And it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before we see a significant bounce. And ideally, we would like to see the entire sector strong, SPY, the S&P 500 strong as well. If we can get all systems a go, then it should be a great trade here over the next couple of weeks leading up into earnings. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you tomorrow after market close.